The Jamaica Constabulary Force has offered insight and clarity around some of the biggest misconceptions about investigations and solving cases. Detectives weigh in on the very touchy issues in this report.
Detectives wasting little time making it clear that the pace of an investigation is dependent on several factors. They contend much patience needs to be exercised even when everything is seemingly falling into place to facilitate a speedy resolution to a case.
Sometimes there are some cases that takes months or even years before they are solved. You have some cases that even go cold for many years before an active lead is then found and those cases are solved.
It is a lot more. It requires dedication, it requires commitment, and it requires a little of what I like to boast about, a passion. If you don't have a passion for what you do, you don't do it effectively.
The detectives in the JCF, though, coming a long way in using advanced technology to help with problematic cases. The JCF, through this expo, is sensitizing citizens to a few of the equipment currently being used by the police.
We in the JCF, we have all the latest technology and abilities in terms of what exists, but because of the CSI effect, the general public might believe that we're lacking in some tools and equipment. So yes, the exaggeration does lead to some misconceptions.
My only concern with those technology, comparing it to NSI, is that the returns are not timely. But if we get those returned timely when we send in for information relative to an investigation, then it would be great. And the technology and science that we have working with, you will see some high-profile cases lately that seems unsolvable, and they were solved. Those technologies were applied. But I guess the problem is that it is the amount of requests that we are making from these entities, and it creates a backlog. But the technology, believe it or not, is nearly like NSI.
Securing witness statements are also difficult. Likewise, dealing with citizens who show little or no regard for the crime scenes and the preservation of critical evidence. Even with little guarantee of advancing a case, detectives pointed to the many hours they invest, which cannot be avoided. Detectives also getting the title as time wasters who avoid hardcore policing under the pretense of being busy. Oftentimes even fighting hard for respect from rank-and-file members of the force.
As far back as a young police, I can remember, the typical detective you say, well, they're just simply police officers wearing plain clothes, looking fancy, not doing much work. But it is the total opposite. These are hardworking men and women who are required to go above and beyond the call of duty.
Being a detective, you do not do as much work as the average police officers.
Back then, and even now, some persons used to say that the detectives all the detectives always dress up in pretty clothes and big guns by your side. But on the contrary, it's a lot of work. It's a whole lot of work as a CID person.
The JCF continues its journey to educate the public on its transformation. For CVM News, I'm Damon Phillips.